What's going on, y'all? So, has anybody ever heard of the saying, spare the rod and spoil the child? Or, from what it says in the Bible, based off of Proverbs 13:24, he that spareth his rod hateth his child or son, but he that loveth him chasteneth him betimes. So basically, in other words, what that's saying is, you can be a loving, nurturing, caring parent, but you also need to discipline your children. You as a parent are the first, you as a parent is the first teacher of your child. Okay? And if you allow your kids to get away with things, it's only going to amplify and get worse as they get older. Now, I come from an era personally, because I'm an 80s baby. I come from an era personally where kids were seen and not heard. If parents were amongst, or adults were amongst other adults, and a child needed to say something, they don't just barge into the conversation. They say, "Excuse me, I have something to say." I came from an era where you show out, you're going to get wore out. So if you want to show your butt in Family Dollar, you're going to get worn out right then and there. You're going to get your back porch painted red, period. That's the era that I grew up in. Sadly, this new generation of parents are not, and I'm not like, dogging anybody out or saying that basically you're bad parents, but your parenting skills are not good, because if you really think about it, your children are a reflection of you. Whatever you teach your child, they're going to take that out into the world, and whatever you taught them, if they're well-mannered, thank you, no thank you, yes ma'am, no ma'am, thank you sir, no thank you sir, things like that. Back in the day, kids had home training. Kids were respectful. Nowadays, these kids are unruly and rebellious and disobedient, which again reflects back on the parents. Now, I know that we're in a day and age where it takes two incomes to sustain a household. So you send your kids off to daycare, or you send your kids off to school, and somebody else is teaching your kids how they should be for 8 hours or however many hours. But again, at the end of the day, you are the first line of defense. You are your child's first teacher. And you need to teach them manners. You need to give them home training. You need to keep them off of social media and allow social media to mold their minds into what a man or a woman looks like, or how they conduct themselves, or how they act. So, quite frankly, again, like I said, I grew up in the 80s, and I grew up in a time where if you backtalked your parents, you was gonna swallow your whole grill. Like all this here would be gone. Period. If you disrespected me, all that, go stand in the corner for timeout and, or this, that, and the third. No. I'm not going to give you a reward, or give you a positive reward for your negative actions or behavior. I'm not going to give you positive reinforcement. I am going to treat you the way that you are acting. If you act good and you do what you're supposed to do, I'll give you positive reinforcement. If you're not doing what you need to do, then yeah, we're going to have some issues. Parents as a whole collectively nowadays, y'all need to step up, and you need to stop letting outside influences of your house delegate how your kids are going to act or how they need to act. Everybody needs to do this. Not to sit there and bash anybody and say that there aren't some good parents that hold on to those values and morals and how they parent. But more so than not, these parents are letting their kids run over them and run rampant. They are rebellious, they are unruly, and they are disobedient. Quite frankly, as for me and my household, I'm not having it. I'm not having it at all. You're not going to embarrass me by going out into the world and acting like a knucklehead. I'm not having it. So just food for thought, people, as parents out there in the world, just think about that. Let it set in, because it'll hit different. Y'all have a good one.